And welcome to Harmony Road. I'm Les Butler, and we've got great Southern gospel music for you today, like we do every day here on the show. And once again, we're at the Smokehouse in Monteagle, Tennessee. It's right between Nashville and Chattanooga, right off of Interstate 24. Come and visit with us sometime. I promise you, you'll have a great time. Let's start with some bluegrass gospel music today from my friends, the Rochesters, In My Father's Eyes, here on Harmony Road.
From a distance he'd be watching me, and I guess somehow he knew that in my heart I long to be like him. In time, the closer we became, the more it seemed I grew. I'd fall, he'd pick me up, and I'd try again. He loves me even when I do the things I shouldn't do, and when I fail to do the things I should. I've heard it said that love is blind, and I've come to know it's true, 'cause he forgets the bad and remembers all the good. In my Father's eyes, there's no wrong I've done. In my Father's eyes, I am the perfect son. He must see someone I can't see, and it makes me wanna try to be like the sun that's in my Father's eyes. And when this life is over, my last trial I've gone through, 'twill be worth it all to hear him say, well done. And maybe then I'll understand just what he saw in me, but I'm sure I'll find he was blinded by the sun. In my Father's eyes, there's no wrong I've done. In my Father's eyes, I am the perfect son. He must see someone I can't see, and it makes me wanna try to be like the sun that's in my Father's eyes. He must see someone I can't see, and it makes me wanna try be like the sun that's in my Father's eyes.
The Rochesters, always great bluegrass gospel from that family. Hope you enjoyed that. Well, we've got a special show today. I've got a buddy of mine that's going to hang out with us, and as soon as the camera pans, as it's doing, you're going to see who I'm talking about. It's the one and only Troy Burns. Yes, that very same Troy Burns, the one that sang lead with the Inspirations 4.
30 years, Les.
And you're singing now with Archie Watkins and Smoky Mountain Reunion and...
Troy Burns Family.
So you're singing with two groups at the same time right now.
Exactly.
And you've been doing it like 50 years.
After 50 years, we're doing two groups at 180 to 200 dates a year, and we're just getting started yet.
You realize it's supposed to be the other way around.
I know you're supposed to retire after 50 years, but we're just getting cranked up good, and we're loving every minute of it.
You know, after the break, I'm going to play a video from Zach and Rodney called The Hensons and the Cooks.
Yes.
Now, over the 5 decades you've traveled with the Hensons and Cooks a lot, right?
Many times. Yes.
Okay, I want you to be thinking of a funny story
Okay.
you could tell about one of those two groups, okay?
I'll think of one.
All of that coming up in just a moment, right here on Harmony Road.
As a boy, I remember they rode into town, singing and playing with a new country sound. They'd pack out the churches and fill up the skulls, and the drummer would always look cold. First time I saw them, they blew me away. I was in the front row, just about center stage. Yeah, the Hensons are still #1 in my book. Man, I'm sorry, I was talking about the Cooks. Well, the old people said turn it down, and the boys and girls said turn it up. Yeah, the music was loud, but they tore up the crowd while lifting Jesus up. Ain't no grave gonna hold me down. Call me gone when the trumpets sound. Just singing all night, winning souls was their only intention. Thank God for the Cooks, and thank God for the Hensons. When I heard Kenny sing, it sounded like Merle, and I had a big crush on that Chris Hawkins girl. But did you ever hear Jeanette sing about Mama Diane? I want us to be together still leaves me crying. Well, the old people said turn it down, and the boys and girls said turn it up. Yeah, the music was loud, but they tore up the crowd while lifting Jesus up. Ain't no grave gonna hold me down. Call me gone when the trumpets sound.
Just singing all night, winning souls was our only intention. Ain't that right, Mama Cook?
That's right, Ronnie Henson. Well, just singing all night, winning souls was our only intention.
Thank God for the Cooks, thank God for the Hensons.
As promised, the Cooks and the Hensons, Zach and Rodney, here on Harmony Road. Now, Troy,
Yes.
give me a good one, a good story.
The Hensons always pull jokes on everybody that they travel with. We traveled with them, I guess, 10, 15 years in a row, just all the time. So one night, we were in a restaurant late eating. We came out before they did. we got under their bus in the back. And everybody that owns a bus carries quarts of oil with them.
Sure.
So we took a fresh quart of oil, we opened it, and we got underneath the back of their bus. We poured that oil out on the ground.
Oh, they thought they had a
Well,
leak.
we got in our bus and just sat and watched as they all came out of the restaurant. And one at a time, they got underneath and they looked and they was talking. And we just put our bus in gear and just eased off and left them. They were still wondering where all the oil was coming from.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Mercy.
So a while ago, when I went back to the car and I saw that oil under my car,
It's probably me.
was that you?
That joke has carried on for 35 years.
Hey, Troy, can you still hang out with me here?
Yes, I'll be glad to.
All right. Troy Burns, my buddy, and you're watching Harmony Road TV. We're going to be back with some more, stories, songs. No telling what's going to happen with this character. You need to come back right here on Harmony Road. Welcome back to Harmony Road. I'm Les Butler, and we've been having a great time today, and we're hanging out with a buddy of mine, Troy Burns. And Troy, you're singing with your family group, the Troy Burns family. You're also singing with Archie Watkins and Smoky Mountain Reunion,
The old
Inspirations.
Yes.
Yeah. And you've got a video that you just did with Archie as well as the Primitive Quartet.
Yeah.
And I know you're featured on a classic. Tell us about that.
One of my favorite songs of all time. And over the years, I've probably recorded 700 plus songs. This is probably my most favorite song ever. It's called How Great Thou Art. How Great Thou Art started as a poem in 1865. A poet by the name of Karl Boberg went out after a thunderstorm in Sweden, and he penned a 6-stanza poem about the awesomeness of God and what he saw in the storm. And it was translated into English about 1900, put to a folk song tune, but America and the world fell in love with How Great Thou Art. In 1953, at a Billy Graham crusade in New York City, George Beverly Shea sang the chorus of How Great Thou Art 96 times in that 1 week.
Oh, my.
And that's where the whole world fell in love with it. And it's one of my favorite songs.
Featuring Troy Burns, here's Archie Watkins and Smoky Mountain Reunion with How Great Thou Art.
Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe display. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When Christ shall come with a shout of acclamation to take me home, what joy shall fill my heart. Then I shall bow in humble adoration and there proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art.
Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou
Amen. Thank you so much. God bless.
Looking back over my life, God's good, so good. It's a fact, sometimes I took the wrong track, but God's good, so good. And when I look where I've been and what He's brought me through, all I can say is God's been so good. But on second thought, God's been great. How great, how great is God's amazing grace. Amazing grace, the grace that sought me. Great, the blood that bought me. How great, how long are His arms of mercy. Reach way down to the bottom, pick me up, no problem. Ain't God good? No, God's great. Moving on, I've got a new song, 'cause God's good, so good. And when I'm faced with trials in my way, God's good, so good. And when I'm questioned about this smile on my face, I must reply, all I can say is God's been so good. But on second thought, God's been great. How great, how great is God's amazing grace. Amazing grace, the grace that sought me. Great, the blood that bought me. How great, how long are His arms of mercy. Reach way down to the bottom, pick me up, no problem. Ain't God good? No, God's great. How great, how great, how great is God's amazing grace. Amazing grace, the grace that sought me. Great, the blood that bought me. How great,
Old Paths Quartet with God's Great. And you know what? This place is great right here. We want to once again invite you to the Smokehouse, Mont Eagle, Tennessee, between Chattanooga and Nashville, right off of Interstate 24. Always check us out online, harmonyroadtv.com or facebook.com, and just type in Harmony Road TV. And you know who else is great? My buddy Troy Burns. Troy, we've had a big time, haven't we?
We have, Les. I've enjoyed every second.
Thanks for coming, and we'll do it again sometime.
Anytime, yes.
I hope you've enjoyed the show today. I'm Les Butler, and this is Harmony Road.
One day I'm gonna walk down streets of pure gold, and they tell me the half has never yet been told. I'll be united with loved ones on Zion's holy hill. Yes, one day I will. One day I'm gonna walk down streets of pure gold, and they tell me the half has never yet been told. I'll be united with loved ones on Zion's holy hill. Yes, one day I will. I want to stroll over heaven with you some glad day, when all the trouble and heartaches have vanished away. We'll enjoy all the beauty where all things are new. I want to stroll over heaven with you. I want to stroll over heaven with you some glad day, when all the trouble and heartaches have vanished away. We'll enjoy all the beauty where all things are new. I want to stroll over heaven with you. God is still on his throne. He will take care of his own. He sends thousands and thousands, 10,000s of angels. We're never alone, for God is still on his throne. God is still on his throne. He will take care of his own. He sends thousands and thousands, 10,000s of angels. We're never